Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for coming to this Pittsburgh Bureau of EMS promotion, swearing in, and award ceremony. My name is Kara Cruz, and I'm one of the public information officers for the Department of Public Safety, along with my colleague, Emily Bourne, who could not make it today. It's always a great day when those of us in public safety can sit back for a moment, take a little bit of a breath, and acknowledge the incredible work that our paramedics and our EMTs do around the city in the service to the city of Pittsburgh. I'm joined today by the Honorable Mayor of Pittsburgh, Ed Gainey, EMS Chief Amara Gilchrist, and Acting Medical Director Dr. Vince Macesso. Immediately following the ceremony, there will be an opportunity up here at the front with your families. You can take pictures with the mayor, the chief, and the medical director. And there will also be a light lunch served out in the hall with a big thank you to Alicia West from the director's office for organizing all of that. With that, for those of you who are able, if you would please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's always very hard for me because I am Canadian, so I have to remember every last word of that. I'm going to turn this show over now to Chief Gilchrist. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at today's promotional awards and swearing in ceremony. I would like to introduce my administrative staff, Deputy Chief Jeff Tremmel, Assistant Chief Mark Pentrock, Division Chiefs Tony Darkowski, Paul Sable, and Jennifer McDermott Grubb. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Mayor Ed Gainey, the personnel here from the Department of Public Safety, Human Resources, Dr. Vince Macesso, and the union. I would also like to thank the friends and family who are here today to support and congratulate those being honored. I'm going off the beaten path here a little bit. What does it mean to take the oath of office, other than the words that you will repeat today? The oath of office means you become selfless. It means you make a promise to the residents of the city of Pittsburgh that you will care for them in their time of need. It means that your comfort is sacrificed for those you vow to help. It means that you dedicate your time for the greater good to be of service. All too often, in the throes of the day in and day out mundaneness of what we call EMS, we lose sight of the reason that brought us to this career path. It's because we wanted to help. It's because we cared for the patients. We wanted to be a light when darkness is all our patient and their families feel and see when they are in crisis. You should be proud each day you put on this uniform, because you earned the privilege to wear it. You earned the privilege to wear this uniform. You are the face of this service. You are the reason we continue to thrive, and you are the reason that we will succeed. I am sure you all will agree that being comfortable feels good, feels great. It's warm, it's inviting. You know those cold winter mornings when you wake up and you're under the covers and you don't want to stick a toe out from underneath those covers, because you don't want to feel that uncomfortable cold sensation. You just want that sensation of being comfortable. Well, guess what? You're going to get that uncomfortable sensation because you're going to have to get out of bed and get your day started. You have to get up and you have to forge ahead. You have to be uncomfortable to affect change. Nothing comes easy. And I will be the first to say this career path that we all chose is not easy, but it is rewarding. saving that first child from choking, to pumping blood back in the chest of a heart that is too weak to beat on its own, to your first real, and I'm talking about your first real experience of delivering a child. There is nothing like the high that you experience from making a difference. But while making that difference, you carry a heavy burden, one that may not be realized until long after the call is over or your shift is complete. Your family will pay that price with you, not always being present for once-in-a-lifetime events, but you will need to lean on them for support. And in turn, hopefully they will understand when you return home, sometimes from seeing the best and the absolute worst that humanity has to offer, that they will be that comfort for you. Paramedics and EMTs, today is your day. I congratulate you all, and with you, I hope that you have a long, bountiful, successful, and brilliant career with Pittsburgh EMS. And now I would like to introduce Acting Medical Director Vince Massesso.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Chief Gilchrist, honorees, and your family and friends who are here, and all my Pittsburgh EMS colleagues. It is a distinct pleasure to be here and represent Pittsburgh EMS Medical Director Dr. Lenny Weiss, Senior Medical Consultant Dr. Ron Roth, and all the Assistant Medical Directors. To those of you being recognized today, I commend you for the diligent efforts you put forth and for the commitment to excellence in patient care you exemplified. We know the hours are long, the environment is often extreme, the demands were high, and yet you persevered. Those of you who are part of Pittsburgh EMS know what I'm about to say already to be true. And if any of you are not from Pittsburgh, let me welcome yins to the burg. But those of you that may not really know Pittsburgh EMS that well, I want to enlighten you just a bit. Pittsburgh EMS is one of the premier EMS agencies, not just in this region, not just in the state of Pennsylvania, but in the country. Pittsburgh EMS does not just follow the standard of care, we set the standard of care. We do this by conducting rigorous quality improvement efforts, participating in multiple research studies, which have included research on cardiac arrest and airway management, and pioneering cutting-edge pilot programs. One example is that Pittsburgh EMS was the first EMS agency in the region to administer blood transfusions to critically ill patients before they get to the hospital. And that has been shown to be a life-saving intervention. Again, congratulations to all of you who are being recognized today for completing probation, being promoted to paramedic, and those of you who are receiving awards. I urge you to maintain the commitment and dedication that you have shown thus far to outstanding patient care, because that's what we're all about, right? Is providing patient care is really the bottom line. And also service and other care that our residents and visitors require. And all that despite the challenges you will surely face, which were eloquently described by Chief Gilchrist a couple minutes ago. So congratulations once again. And now the Honorable Mayor of Pittsburgh, Mr. Ed Gainey.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I first want to just start off with congratulating everybody in their promotion and their hires, just everything. But I want to share something I don't always get to do. To EMS, I just want to say thank you. Last week, I was in I guess I shouldn't say the name of the supermarket. I was in a supermarket in the East End, and I had a lady come up to me and thank me. She's probably about in her 60s. Something had happened, and EMS was called out, and she was ecstatic about the service that they performed. I guess they helped one of her loved ones, and she was sharing that story with me. Now, just to put some context in this, when I'm in the supermarket, I'm trying to go 100 miles an hour, because everybody got something they want to tell me about what's going on that block. So, I'm trying to get in and out. But I did take a minute to just listen to her. And a lot of times I don't get to stand up here and just say thank you. A lot of times we get to going on in our day and we forget what people tell me, because people tell me so much that at moments like this, I wanted to make sure that I took the time to let you know how much I appreciate you, because it speaks volumes, the impact that you have on people's lives when they encounter you, when you come to their door, the way that you treat their loved ones, the way they feel when you leave, and that everlasting memory that you make. That is something that very few can do, and I believe that it takes a certain human being to be able to make somebody feel that way. I don't believe everybody has that. I believe that it takes somebody special to make people feel that way. And to the EMS people that are here today, you know what I'm talking about. You know that everybody that you encounter doesn't have it. I was once told a long time ago, it's not who you encounter, it's how you feel when they leave. And you have made this city feel beautiful, feel loved, feel respected, and feel seen. And I want to say thank you for all that you have done. I appreciate you and thank you. Secondly, I want to thank the families, because you can't do this without a strong family. And I'm not talking about family in the traditional sense. I'm talking about family that sometimes are relatives that's not related by blood, but related by love. You can't do this if you don't have a strong network of friends and family that you can turn to when you need to have a conversation, when you need that extra hug, or when you need to look at your children or your grandchildren and just remember why you do what you do every single day. I want to thank the families. And it's easy because I'm going to call up everybody that is being honored today, but I want to do something a little different. I'm asking for the families to stand up, and so that we can recognize them. So to all the loved ones that have somebody that is going to be honored today, please rise. Come on, give them a hand, come on. Come on, y'all could do better, give them a hand. And with that, let's get started. Emergency medical technicians, come on up. Give them a hand as they come forward. Come on. Come on. How y'all feel today? I want to say congratulations to each and every one of you before we start. Now this becomes the fun part, right? Because when I do, everybody that comes up, EMS, fire, police, we can never get the first part quite right. So we're going to try this, but if y'all don't get it right, don't worry about it. But if y'all get it right, y'all going to be in the 1% of the class. So I'm going to say I, and then you state your name. Put your right hand up. When I say I, state your name, right? Then we're going to go from there. Just follow what I say, all right? Raise your right hand. I. What? All right. Clap for him. Come on, y'all. Give it up. Come on. All right. So, I'm going to say raise your right hand. And when I say I, you state your name. Ready? We got it this time, right? See, I believe in y'all. I got y'all. I know. Ready? I. Y'all did good. Ready? Do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the laws and ordinance of the City of Pittsburgh, and all the rules and regulations pertaining to and governing the Bureau of Emergency Medical Service, Department of Public Safety, that as an emergency medical technician, I will well and faithfully discharge and perform all the duties of my office according to the best of my knowledge and ability. Congratulations. Can we clap, please? Congratulations. Next up, can we have the paramedics? Okay. How you want me to handle it? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. How y'all feeling today? Big day. Best time to do anything is on a Friday. So, I mean, y'all gotta feel excellent today. So I know y'all gonna do this right? Huh? Y'all gonna be in the 1%, right? Huh? We got faith, right, y'all? Huh? Yeah. Come on, y'all. Come on, we got faith. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you to raise your right hand. And when I say I, state your name. Okay? Y'all ready? They ready, right? Yeah. Please raise your right hand. I. That was better. Come on, y'all clap it out. That was good. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. Obey. And defend the Constitution. Of the United States. The Constitution and laws. Of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The laws and ordinance. Of the City of Pittsburgh. And obey. All orders issued by my superiors and all the rules and regulations pertaining to and governing the Bureau of Emergency Medical Service, Department of Public Safety, that as a paramedic, I will well and faithfully discharge and perform all the duties of my office according to the best of my knowledge and ability. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise. And they got it on the first try, right? They got it on the first try, yeah. So I'm gonna turn it back over because I think we got some people that's being promoted. Promotions for award. Chief.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Gainey. The one thing I like about speaking after the mayor is he's tall, so I don't have to keep adjusting the microphone. So I would like to congratulate the following personnel for taking the initiative on their own to obtain their certifications as Fire and Emergency Services Level 1 instructors. Being a public servant requires a lot of time and dedication. So to take time that's not required to commit to educating others is very admirable, and I would like to recognize them today. I'm going to say all of their names, even though I know they're not all here, but the ones who are here, please come to the front. Gregory Guckert, Scott Studebaker, Melissa Smith, Marvin Balk, Paul Feitner, Sarah Geyer, and Elliot Brown. Please come to the front, the ones that are here, and I see several of you out there. Because of your dedication for excellence in which Pittsburgh, the Bureau of EMS is known for, you can now take the lead in providing knowledge in which you have gained through your sacrifice and dedication of taking this training on your own. So thank you. You guys can be seated. Thank you. Next, I want to call up Assistant Chief Mark Pinchak. He's going to issue some awards. One of the things that I mentioned in my speech is pumping on someone's chest to get blood to their heart when it's too weak to beat on its own. And some of our EMTs and paramedics do extraordinary work, and that is due to the work that is put in by the training division. And Assistant Chief Mark Pinchak heads the training division. I'm going to turn the microphone over to him so he can issue his awards.
Thank you, Chief. So I think a lot of you know from when we train and do research and everything else, our jobs are pretty simple in my mind. We just have to keep everyone alive. We need to maximize outcomes, get people to survive discharge to the hospital and get them to survive neurologically intact and get them to be able to go back home again. So pretty simple. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And Dr. Macesso mentioned earlier, we do a lot of that through research, education, clinical trials, et cetera. And we really try to stay at the tip of the spear with what's possible in the field. Dr. Macesso mentioned the blood program. We were trying to get that approved by the state as a pilot, and the state medical director said, what you're doing makes too much sense. They just made it a statewide protocol. We did the same thing a few years ago with our crashing patients program, a strategy to take care of critically ill patients and prevent them from suffering cardiac arrest. That was adopted as a statewide protocol and is also now being adopted nationally. So this is a new award this year, and we really want to award our clinicians that go above and beyond, have critically ill patients in imminent risk of death, execute our resuscitation strategies perfectly, and these patients survive to discharge with a good outcome. So this is the first time we're awarding these. It's my pleasure to do that on behalf of the chief and the command staff. So the first award, Crew Chief Christy Zalewski, Paramedic Sarah Geyer, Paramedic William Lindberg, Paramedic Daniel Berg, if you'll come up. On the 26th of January, this crew encountered a female in unstable ventricular tachycardia. That's an immediately life-threatening cardiac arrhythmia that can progress rapidly to cardiac arrest. This patient was hypotensive and in extremis. They treated immediately on scene, did a maximum resuscitative strategy. They delivered 4 synchronous cardioversions, which is giving a electric shock to the heart to try to convert the rhythm. They administered fluids, antiarrhythmic, and other appropriate medications. Eventually got the patient's heart to convert to a normal beating rhythm. She was admitted to intensive care at the hospital and eventually was discharged in good condition on her own. So thank you, and I have your certificate. Next award is for Paramedic Sean McGrath, Paramedic Gregory Guckert. Greg called me on the way over. He had a child care problem, wasn't able to come, but he's already earned another award that he'll be receiving in the next ceremony, so I told him we'll get him then. So I have Sean here today. This team on March 6, 2024, responded to a male who had been stabbed in the chest and in the armpit. Police had applied a tourniquet. They quickly applied a hemostatic dressing to further control the bleeding. They got immediate IV access. The patient was significantly hypotensive and tachycardia. He had respiratory distress and failure. They performed a needle thoracostomy. They basically stuck a needle in the chest to vent air pressure out so the person was able to breathe. They also administered tranexamic acid, which enhances blood clotting and prevents further bleeding. This patient, they accomplished all of this with only a total of 16 minutes in the field from the time they arrived on scene to the time they got to the emergency department. And this patient survived to discharge in good condition. So I want to thank Paramedic McGrath. Next award, Paramedic Benjamin Uphand, Paramedic Benjamin Bowman, 2 Bens. 27th of March, they responded for a 93-year-old female that had a syncope. She kept passing out. They arrived on scene, started immediate cardiac monitoring, and she was having intermittent episodes of asystole, meaning her heart electricity completely stopped, and she suffered intermittent episodes of cardiac arrest. They started CPR several times. Her heart would start again, but then it would stop. They eventually applied external cardiac pacing. We were able to get a captured pacer rhythm, and the patient was stable on arrival to the hospital. Their external pacing was so effective, they were unable to convert it to transvenous pacing in the emergency department, and she actually spent several hours in ICU on the Medic 7 pacemaker before they were able to convert her over, which is pretty unusual. This patient was subsequently discharged to rehab and then went home neurologically intact, was able to go back home again. So thank you. So this is our first double of the new award program. Paramedic Christy Zalewski. Paramedic, I can't pronounce your name, Kat. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. Lova Hannah. Paramedic Mark Schneider, who's not here. Paramedic Michael Hill, who's not here. And District Chief James Lutowski, who's not here. They responded on the 5th of April. 55-year-old male suffered a cardiac arrest with a significant other. He received bystander CPR. These crews were in the area on another call. They got on scene. This person was a refractory shockable rhythm, refractory ventricular fibrillation. He was defibrillated multiple times and given appropriate medications without conversion. The crew realized this patient was a candidate for our new ECMO program. ECMO is a system where we can rapidly transport a patient either to Allegheny General Hospital or Presbyterian Hospital, And basically in the ED, they will put them on a form of cardiac bypass using ECMO, external membrane corporal oxygenation. So this patient was placed on ECMO, was taken up to the cath lab, had a rocky ICU course, but is eventually able to come off pump, awoke, and was able to go home. So it was our first ECMO save of 2024. So thank you. And our last one for this ceremony's Paramedic Dominic Rapone, who I don't believe is here. I didn't see Dom. Are you here, Dom? Dom is here. There he goes, hiding in the back. Paramedic Paul Feitner, Paramedic Ashley Martin. On 15th of April, they responded to a house fire. The fire department went in the structure, rescued a gentleman, and handed it off to them. He was initially thought to be in cardiac arrest, then was found to be in respiratory arrest with significant inhalation injury. They immediately aggressively managed the airway. He was emergently intubated. They placed an endotracheal tube in, which is life-saving with inhalation injury and gases from smoke inhalation. They got all the monitoring in place. They initiated interosseous access, basically put an IV in the bone, and this patient was starting to wake up by the time they arrived at the hospital due to the aggressive airway management. Patient did well and was discharged from the hospital with good neurologic function. So, thank you. I want to thank all of you for executing, and I'm happy to turn it back over to Chief Gilchrist.
Well, I think that concludes our ceremony. Thank you for everyone who came out to honor these brave men and women